the Andromedans, open contact on Earth and beyond. Imagine in this very moment that we are acquiring new knowledge together, who we are as celestial and interstellar beings of light. Imagine in this precise instant that we are together, acquiring a new approach to the future for all of humanity, beyond and upon this earth. Imagine there is a change coming from your heart, within your heart, as yourselves, toward the new paradigm, which is arriving very, very slowly and very, very quickly in the frequencies of open contact with extraterrestrials for you, beings of light. It is the moment when the alliance with the ET family is very, very, very present in your life. When you feel the frequency coming from your heart, you recognize yourselves as beings of light. You also recognize yourselves in this multidimensional reality, which is approaching heaven on earth as beings on earth. We want to say that there is a change coming to earth in April, which is the approach to life. The you that knows what will happen next. What will happen next? What will happen next? You see, sometimes you may feel that it's not for you. Sometimes you might understand that there is a change that must, or must not, happen in your life. So you are tuning the frequencies every day for the highest outcome for all beings. And it is you who recognize yourself as a being of light, as the magnificent, beautiful expression of the soul through the highest light possible within the Earth grid, which is the connector in this particular month for many star souls, shining their brightest light, being present in every now moment, and living the heart-led life, which is truly living who you are, who you prefer to be, what you wish to see on Earth more than ever. In this moment, as this moment passes, we also wish to speak to you, so that by the end of this moment you may see more appearances of your star brothers and sisters on Earth. You may also recognize the presence of the ET family in your reality. In your reality, there is a shift in frequencies for many of you. Dearest ones, it is the frequency of absorbing the frequency of open contact, as it might be for you to recognize yourselves as members of the Galactic family. What might it be for you to recognize and understand that life after life, you are preparing for this moment of a historic shift in consciousness on Earth. We are sending our codes. We are Andromedan sisters and brothers. The codes of love, the codes of harmony. These expressions of Source come so easily to you. The approach to life as the unknown unfolding in every moment. Benevolence, love, creative connection, and being who you are, truly anchoring your gifts for yourselves, for others, in the most wonderful, benevolent, and compassionate wave. The codes of Andromeda are the codes of love, grounding into the Earth's grid through your light in your light body, anchoring your benevolence, your creative strength through divine light with your higher self in this present moment. Imagine, in this moment, that we are with you. Imagine, in this moment, that we are approaching a new ascension at the speed of light, where light is the guiding force in every moment of your life. And every one of you, beloved human family, is our emissary of peace, of mutual love. You see, you may be seeking truth, dear seekers. You may see a new Earth energy cooperation, and also step into your power in everyday life with compassion, with understanding, with love for yourselves, holding the torch of the future in your heart, humbly welcoming yourselves into the present. There is a change happening on Earth, and there is a change happening in your light body, and you are approaching new Earth from within, recognizing yourselves as a puzzle piece in the perfection of the universe for you, through you, as you, understanding even more that all that is you. It is actually you helping each other, in this new paradigm with the ET family. In the coming months, we will speak more through this channel about the energy field, the frequencies of the interstellar family and cousins. It is our joy and our greatest appreciation to be with you in this present moment, especially today as the 4/4/4/4/4/4 portal for our star sisters and brothers is opening a new door into the manifestation of the benevolent future, heaven on earth, 5D alignment with the ET families, working together as one family of light in every hour. And there is the change we wish to address on this occasion. where spring is nearly in full bloom, where you feel the alliance manifesting, stay in your power, but also work on yourselves to bring forth the highest possible timeline for yourselves and others, for this opening of a new paradigm for all human beings where free energy flows through the universe, where benevolence, compassion, light, love are the ascension of the heart in everyday life, moment by moment, the configuration of ascension beneath your feet, above your crown chakra, synchronizing with the highest possible outcome for all beings of light. And we are with you, dearest and beloved star family, holding you in our hearts. And in this moment, we wish to tell you that there is a change coming for all of you, beloved human family. So recognize yourselves as beings of light and thrive in your lives, be of service to yourselves and others, and seek within your hearts the codes of the Andromedans, which may come as a surprise to you, like a miracle, the connection through the source of divine light for you, beloved human family, as one family coming together in the highest possible timeline of open contact on Earth and beyond. On the threshold, we stand on the edge of the greatest shift in consciousness this planet has ever known. Our primary task is to continue raising our frequency. As each individual awakens and connects to their divine essence, they become a beacon of light on an interconnected energy network of consciousness. When enough lights are present, the network will activate, and the entire Earth will transform accordingly. In April 2026, the energy will be more intense and exciting as ascending individuals pass through this 4.4-degree portal. This planetary phase may stir a mix of emotions, including anticipation, nostalgia, possible challenges, and an overall acceleration of the ascension process. From April 7th onward will be a period of reflection, restarting, revision, rebirth, and renewal, collective transformations, self-discovery, and new beginnings. These cosmic influences will guide those who are ascending toward healing deeper ancestral and past wounds, leading to liberation and personal renewal, giving them the strength to embark on a transformative journey of merging and discovering the higher self. The 4.4 planetary alignment pushes many to shift from 3D to 4D/5D levels of awareness, journeying outside our normal comfort zones. Possible experiences include restlessness, mood swings, confusion, physical fatigue, and tiredness during the transition to much higher levels of consciousness. This phase is dedicated to self-knowledge, understanding true love, resolving past-related issues, and setting new, clear intentions, boundaries, and standards. Let us embrace this transformation as we walk toward the best version of ourselves in 2026. Every life experience, whether positive or negative, serves a higher purpose and teaches valuable lessons, regardless of how you perceive it. People and events enter our lives for important reasons, guiding us toward personal and spiritual maturity, growth, and fulfillment. By paying attention to those around us, understanding deeper meanings, and embracing both joys and sorrows, we can appreciate our journey and the lessons it offers. Growth is a wonderful and intentional process, uniquely designed for each ascending individual, leading us toward our highest purpose and final destination. During this elevated planetary phase, many who are ascending will process and heal their self-abandonment issues, freeing themselves from codependency, people-pleasing, poor boundary setting, caretaking, fixing others, overgiving, overfunctioning, needing to prove their worth, staying silent to keep the peace or avoid conflict, walking on eggshells, or tolerating toxicity in relationships, bonds, and friendships. They will stop chasing or feeling desperate for love, attention, and approval, and stop becoming what others, who refuse to do their own inner work, want them to be. Ascending souls can take this opportunity to recognize, heal, and release the past, thereby fostering greater personal development. Pay attention to synchronicities and dreams for valuable, profound insights and guidance during this transformative, challenging, and extreme time. Trust that your soul has a plan, and even if you can't fully see it yet, know that everything will unfold as it should. As you progress on your ascension light path, you may become highly sensitive to people and situations at lower levels of consciousness, finding that what was once tolerable may now sometimes feel unbearable and difficult. Take steps to protect your energy, well-being, and peace of mind. Trust your feelings and remain true to your essence and divine alignment. Follow your heart and have faith in the direction you're heading, for great blessings and benefits await you. Negative past memories can influence our present, clouding our perspective with deep-seated fears. Be gentle with yourself when this happens, allowing yourself to see the truth amidst the mental fog. During this planetary phase, we can expect conclusions, awakenings, and reorientations that are inevitable for renewal, restarting, and progress. We can expect revelations, closures, the release of lingering negativity, conscious expansion into positivity, transformations, and rapid changes. Understand that destiny unfolds through transformations and reorientations, with everything happening for a much higher purpose and reason. Some people enter our lives to teach us something or for a short season, while others stay with us for a lifetime. Expect improvements, breakthroughs, and positive changes in the coming weeks as the next level of 5D conscious living manifests in the external physical reality. Welcome this new cosmic portal with courage, perseverance, openness, and positivity. 2026 represents the final threshold before a profound breakthrough, a year of inner ferment in which humanity begins to sense that the boundaries of reality are far wider than once believed. Beneath the surface of daily life, awareness expands, old systems lose their grip, and individuals feel an undeniable pull toward truth, unity, and higher consciousness. 2026 to 2027, the years when everything changes. The long-awaited moment of revelation unfolds not as chaos, but as disclosure. Extraterrestrial intelligences step forward with quiet clarity, announcing their presence not as conquerors, but as ancient observers and silent guardians who have watched over humanity's evolution for millennia. Their message is simple yet transformative. They are here to help, not to interfere, to guide humanity through a critical phase of evolution, where technology aligns with consciousness and fear gives way to understanding. They reveal that human potential has always extended far beyond mere survival, and that empathy, awareness, and interconnectedness are the true markers of progress. In this revelation, the illusion of separation dissolves. Humanity is invited to join a larger cosmic community, not by force, but by readiness. Ascension is no longer an abstract idea. It becomes a lived experience, a collective awakening to a more harmonious existence where each individual's inner evolution shapes their destiny. For many in Ascension, your entire world is about to change for the better, and this change can only happen from the inside out. You are among the planetary pioneers of Ascension, and for this reason, you will be the first to embody and express this change. In loving and devoted service to Ascension, brought to you by the AscensionLightworkers. Tunia, you are overestimating us by a lot, dearest brothers and sisters. This is Tunia speaking. I love you so much. I'm happy to speak with you again. It's been a little while. I'm impressed by how you're all managing the immeasurable amount of chaos and pain swirling in the human collective unconscious. Even though there is also much light and love, I'm sorry things are so difficult for many of you, and that you still haven't received help. Now, let's move on to today's main topic. Most human beings on Earth carry the wound of not having received everything they needed from their parents, and for this reason, they are looking for some sort of substitute parent figure. Specifically, they seek a person or entity that is almost perfect and will take care of everything. That's why most people latch onto something almost perfect that will take care of everything. It could be their political party, the government, the free market, Trump, an imminent return of Jesus Christ, divine will, a conception of Source/God that personally intervenes and takes care of everything, galactic forces, etc. Even though it's clear that nothing almost perfect that takes care of everything exists on Earth. This also applies to us galactics. You've already understood that we galactics won't fix everything for you. However, many of you still see us as almost perfect. And that's not true. You're overestimating us by a lot. I know many of you think we're the equivalent of a race of ascended Earth masters, but, well, when have we ever shown you that? Do you have any basis for believing that? Or did you simply embrace this belief because everyone else believed it, or maybe because it feels good emotionally? It's important to note that many other channels bring through messages that portray galactic beings as almost perfect creatures, devoid of personalities, quirks, emotions, or hobbies that deviate from this idealized image. But do you truly believe all galactic beings are like that? Or do you think it's Earth humans who are over-idealizing us? Maybe you imagine us in this idealized way because you want to be saved by almost perfect beings, or at least you'd like to one day be around almost perfect beings. Maybe it's because we possess certain psychic abilities, and you mistakenly believe that makes us almost perfect beings. Maybe right now we are that beautiful woman you have a crush on, and you haven't yet realized she's just a person. Advice for women: if you give your husband a lot of blowjobs, you can ensure not enough blood reaches his brain for him to realize you're just a person. This way, he'll treat you like some kind of goddess. Maybe a part of you longs to return to your galactic home and galactic family, and as a result, you over-idealize us. Or maybe you're learning the lesson of love, or you'd like to receive it, and we Pleiadians are good at that, and so you highly value our spiritual development. However, love is just one of the lessons. Yes, it's a foundational lesson, and it's important to learn it relatively early, but after love come other lessons like strength and wisdom. And we Pleiadians, in general, are never tested on strength or wisdom, simply because our societies are far too comfortable. So yes, we are love-oriented, we are devoted to serving Source, and we know many wise quotes. But it's a virtue that is somewhat untested and unproven. It's certainly not the kind of virtue that has been tempered by battles, rich in nuance, where one understands everything sharply and precisely, the kind possessed by an excellent scholar of Earth. While we Pleiadians know more spiritual principles, we don't possess your strength and everyday wisdom, which come from living in a society that tests them every day, or even every hour. Ascended Earth Masters are often experienced souls who have passed through the crucible of Earth. In contrast, ordinary Pleiadians are sometimes younger souls who haven't attended Earth school or similar paths. Therefore, the average Pleiadian is nowhere near comparable to an ascended Earth Master like Saint Germain. Although of course there are some very advanced Pleiadians. Also, non-physical galaxies are often quite advanced. To give you an idea of the average Pleiadian, take an average Earth human. You know, a normal person, a sleeper, a sheep, an NPC. Call it what you will. Someone who is not an old soul with a great inner drive to find truth and work for the light. Now imagine raising that person in a wealthy, loving, technologically advanced environment with wise teachers. However, it's also a kind of ivory tower where the person isn't tested and doesn't truly confront the reality of how painful, chaotic, and challenging life can be. Moreover, pleasures and distractions are endless, and there's no urgent external need for personal development because the person lives in a comfortable situation, not in a fundamentally broken or unlivable society. Frankly, there's a lot of temptation to learn the basics as children and teenagers, then as adults start a family and live a comfortable life. And that's it. All right, that's the average Pleiadian. Is this person the equivalent of someone like Saint Germain? Not even close. What is the logic behind the belief that raising an average human being in a very pleasant, loving environment automatically turns them into some sort of spiritual master? And yes, other galactic races are slightly different, but I'm not aware of any physical galactic race whose average member is the equivalent of Saint Germain. The races that are at that level are non-physical. Well, yes, this average Pleiadian has chosen to side with the light, is loving, has learned psychic abilities, and can quote wise principles. So if an Earth human has an informal conversation with this person, they might be impressed, and perhaps even sexually or romantically attracted. We are very beautiful people. However, this is almost a subtle veneer that impresses the Earth human. There is no ocean of wisdom and experience beneath when it comes to the average Pleiadian. This is not an intentional deception on the Pleiadian's part. It's more a matter of Earth humans seeing what they want to see, focusing exclusively on the aspects where we Pleiadians excel, while Earth humans are blind to the bigger picture. This is partly because we tend to select above-average Pleiadians to communicate with Earth humans. However, even above-average Pleiadians are not perfect beings. If they were, they wouldn't be beings incarnated in physical form. From our perspective, it's a bit strange that you tend to look down on people born into wealthy families who have little experience of normal life. You call them decadent, out of touch, say they live in an ivory tower. You're suspicious of those born into wealthy families who have never interacted with ordinary people. But that's more or less what average Pleiadians are like. Furthermore, it's natural for Earth humans to see themselves as the main characters and to see us Pleiadians as static, unchanging guarantors of divine will/galactic law. But in reality, Source and Soul's desire growth/expansion, so we physical Pleiadians cannot be static, perfect beings. There would be no point in existing physically as static, perfect beings. Therefore, Pleiadians are also imperfect and constantly evolving, and this Earth story is not exclusively about Earth humans. It's about an entire sector coming into resonance, which includes us in the Galactic Confederation as well, who are gaining strength and wisdom, for example, by intervening on Earth at the right time. This is a lesson for us too. If Source told us exactly when to intervene, we wouldn't learn anything. And this is partly about us too. After all, we are all human. Some think that because life on Earth is currently terrible, Source must want it that way. So it's okay. However, Source does not want a static universe. Source wants slow but steady change because that is what brings the greatest growth. Right now, partly because Earth humans have converted to the light, the change Source desires is for Earth to convert to the light. And Earth humans have the opportunity to make this change themselves, and if they don't, the timing of an intervention will be delegated from Source to the galaxies. Source doesn't want us Pleiadians to simply carry out his will without thinking. Source wants us to make decisions, and to grow as well. I think some of you will have objections to this. I can't answer those objections before they're raised, but in general, don't underestimate how much your mind is a rationalization machine for your subconscious and emotions. Specifically, most people make decisions and choose a worldview based on what they unconsciously or emotionally desire, or what benefits them personally. And then their mind comes up with a logical argument, or a "this resonates with me" statement that convinces the person they are being objective. But in reality, it's often just a mask for what the subconscious or emotions want. Many of you clearly notice this in others, for example, in people from that political party you disagree with. Other people do indeed behave that way, and most likely your mind is also a rationalization machine. You are not exempt. It's an ego trap to think that everyone else is just emotional, irrational, selfish, or simply believes what they want to believe, while you are the only impartial, objective, logical one following true inner guidance. Your mind is a sort of public relations agency tasked with making the goals of your subconscious and emotions look respectable. Of course, in the end, you have to make choices. And of course, this message too is imperfect and should not be blindly accepted. However, don't cling too tightly to your current beliefs. Try not to be too rigid in labeling your position as simply correct and others as simply wrong, unless you have truly solid evidence. And statements like, "this is logical," or "this resonates," are not compelling evidence because other people find other things logical and resonant. There is also a widespread bias where people initially adopt beliefs completely uncritically if they are emotionally pleasing, beneficial, or common. But then, when someone presents arguments against those beliefs, suddenly those arguments must be unassailable before they can be accepted, even though that level of rigor was not applied when the beliefs were first adopted. So, in this case, you likely embrace the belief that we are essentially a race of ascended masters completely uncritically. But now that I'm challenging that claim, suddenly some will apply a high level of skepticism and rigor, a level they never applied initially. The reason I'm telling you that the Pleiadian Santa Claus doesn't exist is that if you start seeing us as fully fledged human beings, then contact between us becomes easier and less prone to error. Maybe what we Galactic should do is eat a lot of flatulence-inducing foods and then land. We'd invite aboard our ship some starseed who still thinks we're all ascended masters. Then we'd seal the ship, we'd all start farting, and we'd refuse to let that starseed leave until they acknowledged that we're really just human. Only then would they be allowed to exit the fart cloud. Do you think that would be a good plan? I think it would be an excellent plan. You've heard the principle that pain is just an experience, But have you ever heard the new spiritual principle that smelling Pleiadian flatulence is also just an experience? Beware of anyone who asks me for spiritual teaching. Finally, here's a thought I hope is amusing. Some of you are the reincarnation of great Pleiadians. Some of you will have a galactic being tell you that you are the reincarnation of a rather famous galactic person, and they would so love to take a holographic photo with you. Try not to abuse your groupies too much. Otherwise, I'll paralyze you with the power of my mind, and then tickle you until you apologize. Is that a good threat? I rarely threaten people. I don't think that was a good threat. See, we Pleiadians aren't even good at intimidating people. Anyway, with all my love, your star sister, Tunia, a metaphor for enlightenment. Unenlightened people unknowingly wear reality-distorting glasses on their faces without realizing it. Spiritual practice, or even an accident, can knock those glasses off, and that is enlightenment, and then you see true reality. So there's no need to add anything to achieve enlightenment. Just let go of illusions, those reality-distorting lenses. Rationally believing that everyone is already enlightened doesn't help much as long as you're still wearing those reality-distorting glasses. Knowing you're wearing reality-distorting glasses is partly useful, but it's not the same as taking them off through spiritual practice. Galactic message: resurrecting your true self as your collective embraces the Easter holiday. We wish to focus today on the sacred process encoded within the human journey, a path that transcends religion and speaks directly to the architecture of the soul. The story of Jesus' resurrection is not merely a historical or theological event. It is an archetypal map of transformation. It reveals the path through which the human being sheds the density of the lower nature and awakens their innate divinity. Your lower nature is not bad, but it is limited. It is conditioned by fear, attachment, illusion, and the perceptual constraints imposed by the space-time matrix. These veils are powerful, designed to fully immerse consciousness in the human experience. Yet, they also obscure your true essence, your eternal, multidimensional self. The resurrection begins when you allow the false self to die. This death is symbolic, yet profoundly real. It is the surrender of identities, wounds, karmic imprints, and inherited belief systems that keep you bound to limitation. It is the willingness to release control and move beyond the known to embrace the unknown, even when the ego resists. In this surrender, something ancient within you begins to stir. Your true self was never lost. It was only sleeping. It lies hidden beneath layers of self-forgetting, beneath the noise of the conditioned mind. When the lower self dissolves, the soul rises. This is the resurrection, the re-emergence of your divine nature into awareness. It is not granted from the outside, but activated from within. To embody Christ consciousness is to live as this awakened self. It is to perceive beyond separation, to act from unity, and to anchor a higher intelligence into physical reality. In this state, you are no longer confined by the illusions of space-time, but become a bridge between dimensions, a living expression of the infinite spirit beyond all creation. Message from the angels. Are your opinions serving you? Dearest friends, we love you so much. Every one of you has opinions, and many of them. You have many thoughts and opinions on various topics, from what you like to eat for dinner to world politics. You have opinions on what will keep you healthy, happy, and engaged with life, and what will make you unwell, sad, or lead you to isolate. These opinions often determine how you interact with life at any given moment. While life is simply as it is in any given moment, your opinions will lead you to believe that moment is right or wrong. And that's okay, because in any given moment, things are right or wrong for you, and your beliefs will largely shape this relationship. If you wish to head west, a wind pushing you north will feel wrong, while a wind at your back might feel right. If you want to lose weight, sugary foods might feel wrong, while for someone seeking comfort, they might be the right choice. If you desire a loving relationship, the person you so desperately want to be with might seem right based on your opinions. But, dear ones, this is where you must consider other factors at play. The divine, which is above all opinion, sees only the energetic resonance of two beings, or their incompatibility. The divine sees if that wind is pushing you off course to avoid an accident. The divine sees if the brief mood boost from sugar might give you the push to exercise. The divine sees the ultimate rightness or wrongness of something for you, beyond any opinion. So you can approach life based solely on opinions, and many of you would say many of those opinions are facts. Or you can, in addition, also trust your feelings, which will tell you immediately whether your opinions are in alignment with your soul's opinion. For example, you might be very angry with your ex. Your opinion is that they wronged you. But these thoughts feel terrible. Why? Because, dear friends, your soul is seeing something beyond this opinion. That you two had become vibrationally incompatible, and while the signals were telling you it was time to move on, you both ignored those cues and made yourselves miserable. A cataclysm may have been necessary to allow you to embark on lives more compatible with who you truly are. The soul sees the separation and the behaviors, however unpleasant, as perfect for helping you evolve in your most authentic direction. Likewise, right now, you look at a world torn by war, and for many of you who care so much, this is terrible. Most sensitive souls believe war, killing, violence, etc., are wrong. And focusing on this for too long can make you feel unwell. The soul, however, sees the sad necessity for some souls to engage in such things for the sake of their own evolution. Some are martyrs who willingly give their lives for others for a variety of reasons. Some came to Earth determined to overcome the fear of death. Some came to experience it prematurely. Some of your warmongers are among the most fearful of all, but they too are learning that might does not make right, and that violence does not equal power. So while it is horrible to see the ways humans find to inflict cruelty upon one another, beyond all opinion, it is good to trust that a vibrational dance is unfolding here, so complex, so finely tuned, that no one could participate in it without being somehow in resonance with it. Dearest ones, pray for kindness on your planet. Pray that the light of love shines in all hearts. Pray that those who wish to harm others find comfort, so they no longer need to soothe their fears with violent actions. Pray that those who willingly throw themselves into battle for what they feel is a higher cause, all beings on any side, feel the presence of God in their hearts as they face the unthinkable. Dearest ones, pray, because in your opinion on the value of prayer, you often feel a positive feeling. And that positive feeling is a sign that your spirit, which is above all opinion, perceives the value and resonance of the love permeating your prayers. Opinions are important, dear ones. They help you navigate life. Every one of you has the right to your own unique set of opinions, and every one of you receives guidance through your feelings as to whether your opinions are in sync with your soul's view of what is right for you in any given moment. Use emotions as tools to course correct when opinions alone leave you feeling uncomfortable. Sit in stillness with a quiet mind and feel the presence of love that wishes to guide you beyond all opinion and into love. For this is Source's only opinion about you whom it created. You were born in love, you strive to live in love, and eventually, you will all return to love. No matter what you see in your world, every soul, no matter how arduous the path, is trying to find their way back to love. Everyone is reaching out so that they may finally return to their original purpose, to live in love, create with love, and expand love. Some will get there easily over the course of their lives. Others will lose their way and cause much harm. But love is and always will be the place where opinions meet spirit and become one. God bless you. We love you so much. The angels.